Scene 3. The Poker Night. There is a picture of Van Gogh's of a billiard parlour at night. The kitchen now suggests that sort of lurid nocturnal brilliance, the raw colours of childhood's spectrum. Over the yellow lino of the kitchen table hangs an electric bulb with a vivid green shade. The poker players, Stanley, Steve, Mitch and Pablo, wear coloured shirts, solid blues, a purple, a red and white check, a light green, and they are men at the peak of their physical manhood, as coarse and direct and powerful as the primary colours. There are vivid slices of watermelon on the table, whiskey bottles and glasses. The bedroom is relatively dim, with only the one light that spills between porticos and through the wide window on the street. For a moment, there is absorbed silence as a hand is dealt.
Anything wild this deal?
One-eyed Jack's a wild.
Give me 2 cards.
You, Mitch?
I'm out.
1.
Anyone want a shot?
Yeah, me.
Why don't somebody go to Chinaman's and bring back a load of chop suey?
Hey, when I'm losing, you want to eat? Hey, Andy up. Openers? Openers! Get your ass off the table, Mitch. Nothing belongs on a poker table but cards, chips and whiskey.
Kind of on your high horse, aren't you?
How many?
Give me 3.
1.
I'm out again. I ought to go home pretty soon.
Shut up.
I got a sick mother. She don't go to sleep until I come in at night.
Then why don't you stay home with her?
She says to go out, so I go, but I don't enjoy it. All the while, I keep wondering how she is.
For the sake of Jesus, go home then.
What have you got?
Spade flush.
You all are married, but I'll be alone when she goes. I'm going to the bathroom.
Hurry back and we'll fix you a sugar tit.
Oh, go rut. 7 card stud. This old farmer is out in back of his house, sitting down throwing corn to the chickens, when all at once he hears a loud cackle, and this young hen comes lickety-split around the side of the house with the rooster right behind her and gaining on her fast.
Deal.
But when the rooster catches sight of the farmer throwing the corn, he puts on the brakes and lets the hen get away and starts pecking corn. And the old farmer says, "Lord God, I hopes I never gets that hungry."
Game is still going on.
How do I look?
Lovely, Blanche.
I feel so hot and frazzled. Wait till I powder my nose before you open the door. Do I look done in?
Why, no. You are as fresh as a daisy.
One that's been picked a few days.
Well, 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 I see you boys are still at it.
Where you been?
Blanche and I took in a show. Blanche, this is Mr. Gonzalez and Mr. Hubble.
Please
Hello?
don't get up.
Hey, nobody's going to get up, so don't be worried.
How much longer is this game going to continue?
Till we get ready to quit.
Poker is so fascinating. Could I kibitz?
You could not. Why don't you women go and sit up there with Eunice?
Because it is nearly 2:30. Couldn't you call it quits after one more hand? That's not fun, Stanley. It makes me so mad when he does that in front of people.
I think I will bathe.
Again,
My nerves are in knots. Is the bathroom occupied?
I don't know.
Oh, good evening.
Hello.
Blanche, This is Harold Mitchell. My sister, Blanche Dubois.
How do you do, Miss Dubois?
How is your mother now, Mitch?
About the same, thanks. She appreciated your sending over that custard. Excuse me, please.
That one seems superior to the others.
Yes, he is.
I thought he had sort of a sensitive look.
His mother is sick.
Is he married?
No.
Is he a wolf?
Why, Blanche. I don't think he would be.
What does he do?
Oh, he's on the precision bench in the spare parts department at the plant Stanley travels for.
Is that something much?
No. Stanley's the only one of his crowd that's likely to get anywhere.
What makes you think Stanley will?
Look at him.
I've looked at him.
Then you should know.
I'm sorry, but I haven't noticed the stamp of genius even on Stanley's forehead.
It isn't on his forehead, and it isn't genius.
Oh, well, what is it and where? I would like to know.
It's a drive that he has. You're standing in the light, Blanche.
Oh, am I?
You ought to see their wives.
I can imagine. Big beefy things, I suppose.
You know that one upstairs? One time. Plaster.
Hey, you hens, cut out the conversation in there.
You can't hear us.
Well, you can hear me, and I said to hush up.
This is my house, and I'll talk as much as I want to.
Stella, don't start a row.
Oh, he's half drunk. I'll be out in a minute.
She goes into the bathroom. Blanche rises and crosses to a small white radio and turns it on. All right, Mitch, you in?
What? Oh, no, I'm out.
Blanche moves back into the streak of light. She raises her arms and stretches. As she moves indolently back to the chair, rumba music comes over the radio. Mitch rises at the table. Hey, who turned that on there?
I did. Do you mind?
Turn it off.
Let the girls have the music.
Sure, that's good. Leave it on.
Sounds like Javier Cugat.
Stanley jumps up, crossing to the radio, turns it off. He stops short at the sight of Blanche in the chair. She returns his look without flinching. Then he sits again at the poker table. Two of the men have started arguing hotly.
I didn't hear you name it.
Didn't I name it, Mitch?
I wasn't listening.
What were you doing then?
I was looking through them drapes. He jumps up and jerks the curtains. Now deal the bloody hand over again and let's play cards or quit. Some people get ants when they win. Sit down!
I'm going to the head. Deal me out.
Sure, he's got ants now. $75 bills in his pants pocket, folded as tight as spitballs.
Tomorrow you'll see him at the cashier's window, getting them changed into quarters.
Yeah, when he goes home he'll deposit them one by one in a piggy bank his mother gave him for Christmas. The game is spit in the ocean.
Hello. The little boy's room is busy right now.
We've been drinking beer.
I hate beer.
It's a hot weather drink.
Oh, I don't think so. It always makes me warmer. Have you got any cigs?
Sure.
What kind are they?
Lucky's.
Oh, good. What a pretty case. Silver?
Yes. Read the inscription.
Oh, is there an inscription? I can't make it out. Oh, and if God choose, I shall but love thee better after death. Why, that's from my favorite sonnet by Mrs. Browning.
You know it?
Certainly I do.
There's a story connected with that inscription.
It sounds like a romance.
A pretty sad one.
Oh?
The girl's dead now.
Oh.
She knew she was dying when she gave me this. A very strange girl. Very sweet. Very.
She must have been fond of you. Sick people have such deep, sincere attachments.
That's right. They certainly do.
Sorrow makes for sincerity, I think.
It sure brings it out in people.
The little there is belongs to people who have experienced some sorrow.
I believe you are right about that.
I'm positive that I am. Show me a person who hasn't known any sorrow, and I'll show you a super. Listen to me. My tongue is a little thick. You boys are responsible for it. The show let out at 11, and we couldn't come home on account of the poker game, so we had to go somewhere and drink. I'm not accustomed to having more than one drink. 2 is the limit, and 3. Tonight, I have 3.
Mitch!
Deal me out. I'm talking to Miss
Dubois.
Miss Dubois.
It's a French name. It means woods, and Blanche means white, so the 2 together mean white woods, like an orchard in spring. You can remember it by that.
You're French?
We're French by extraction. Our first American ancestors were French Huguenots.
You are Stella's sister, are you not?
Yes, Stella is my precious little sister. I call her little in spite of the fact she's somewhat older than I am. Just slightly, less than a year. Will you do something for me?
Sure. What?
I bought this adorable little paper lantern at a Chinese shop on Bourbon. Would you put it over the light bulb? Will you please?
Be glad to.
I can't stand a naked light bulb any more than I can a rude remark or a vulgar action.
I guess we strike you as being a pretty rough bunch.
Well, I'm very adaptable to circumstances.
Well, that's a good thing to be. You are visiting Stanley and Stella?
Stella hasn't been so well lately, and I came down to help her for a while. She's very run down.
You're not.
Married? No. I'm an old maid school teacher.
You may teach school, but you're certainly not an old maid.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate your gallantry.
So you are in the teaching profession, huh?
Yes. Yes.
Grade school or high school or...
Mitch!
Coming!
Gracious, what lung power. I teach high school in Laurel.
What do you teach? What subject?
Yes.
I bet you teach art or music. Of course, I could be wrong. You might teach arithmetic.
Never arithmetic, sir. Never arithmetic. I don't even know my multiplication tables. No, I have the misfortune of being an English instructor. I attempt to instill a bunch of Bobby Soxers and drugstore Romeos with reverence for Hawthorne and Whitman and Poe.
I guess that some of them are more interested in other things.
How very right you are. Their literary heritage is not what most of them treasure above all else. But they're sweet things, and in the spring it's touching to notice them making their first discovery of love, as if nobody had ever known it before.
Stella comes out.
Oh, have you finished? Wait, I'll turn on the radio.
She turns the knob on the radio and it begins to play Veen Veen Nerd de Yalan. Blanche waltzes to the music with romantic gestures. Mitch is delighted and moves in awkward imitation like a dancing bear. Stanley stalks fiercely through the portieres into the bedroom. He crosses to the small white radio and snatches it off the table. With a shouted oath, "Fuck!" he shoots the instrument out the window.
Drunk, animal thing, you. Oh, all of you, please go home. If any of you have one spark of decency in you.
Stella, watch out, he's...
Oh. Take, oh,
I think that's the men.
the men say that.
Blanche is taking
Oh, take it easy, Stanley. Easy. Easy, fella. Let's all.
You
Hey.
lay your hands on me, and I'll.
My sister is going to have a baby.
This is terrible.
Lunacy. Absolute lunacy.
Get him in here, man.
Stanley
Hey.
is forced, pinioned by the two men, into the bedroom. He nearly throws them off. Then all at once he subsides and is limp in their grasp. They speak quietly and lovingly to him, and he leans his face on one of their shoulders.
I want to go away. I want to go away.
Poker shouldn't be played in a house with women.
I want my sister's clothes. We'll go to that woman's upstairs.
Where's the clothes?
I got them. Stella, precious, dear little sister, don't be afraid.
What's the matter? What happened?
You just blew your top, Stan.
He's okay now.
Sure, my boy's okay. Put him on the bed and get him a wet towel.
I think coffee would do him a world of good. Now,
I want water.
Put him under the shower.
Let go of me, you sons of bitches!
Let's get quick out of here.
They rush to the
Poker
poker table.
should not be played in a house with women.
The door closes on them and the place is still. The Negro entertainers in the bar around the corner play Paper Doll, slow and blue. After a moment, Stanley comes out of the bathroom, dripping water and still in his clinging, wet polka dot drawers. Stella! Oh, God, my baby doll's left me. Yes? I want my baby. Yes? I'll keep ringing until I'm talking with my baby.
Yeah, you can.
Finally, Stanley stumbles half-dressed out to the porch and knocks the wooden steps to the pavement before the building. There he throws back his head like a baying hound and bellows his wife's name. Stella! Stella! Sweetheart! Stella! Stella!
Quit that howling out there and go back to bed.
I want my baby down here. Stella! Stella!
She ain't coming down, so you quit, or you'll get the law on you.
Stella!
You can't beat on a woman and then call her back. She won't come. And her going to have a baby. You stinker. You whelp of a Polak. You. I hope they do haul you in and turn the fire hose on you, same as the last time.
Eunice, I just want my baby. I want my girl to come down with me.
Ha!
Stella! The low-toned clarinet moans. The door upstairs opens again. Stella slips down the rickety stairs in her robe. Her eyes are glistening with tears, and her hair loose about her throat and shoulders. They stare at each other. Then they come together with low animal moans. He falls to his feet on the steps and presses his face to her belly, curving a little with maternity. Her eyes go blind with tenderness as she catches his head and raises him level with her. He snatches the screen door open, lifts her off her feet, and bears her into the dark flat. Blanche comes out on the upper landing in her robe and slips fearfully down the steps.
Where is my little sister? Stella? Stella?
She stops before the dark entrance to the sister's flat, catches her breath as if struck. She rushes down the walk before the house. She looks right and left, as if for a sanctuary. The music fades away. Mitch appears from around the corner.
Miss Dubois?
Oh.
All quiet on the Potomac now?
She ran downstairs and went back in there with him.
Sure she did.
I'm terrified.
Oh, there's nothing to be scared of. They're crazy about each other.
Well, I'm not used to such
Nah, it's a shame this had to happen when you just got here. But don't take it serious.
violence. It's so.
Sit down on the steps and have a cigarette with me.
I'm not properly dressed.
That don't make no difference in the quarter.
Such a pretty silver case.
I showed you the inscription, didn't I?
Yes. There's so much confusion in the world. Thank you for being so kind. I need kindness now.